NK Telco Sports welcomes you to tonight's coverage of college basketball. Tonight, it's the Otterbein Cardinals coming to Ada to take on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors. First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Quality Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. Welcome inside Campoli Court here in Ada as we get the OAC underway. You see the 2-2 Otterbein Cardinals and the 0-4 Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Mike Herna, Rich Bensman, and Rich, traditionally, this is a building that has been oh so good to Ohio Northern. They just unfortunately have not been able to get those big wins so far this year in this building.
Right, and they were right there with Mount Union, and not here, but over in Marietta. That's a tough place to go play, and that was right there. It was the last second play.
Talk a lot about this game as we go along, taking a look first at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game, starting with Otterbein. Very simple from head coach Andy Winters. He wants to be active on the defensive end, box out to finish their possessions, and he wants to hunt great offense. Kind of look a little deeper into what he's saying there.
And that's kind of what they'll do. And they do a good job of changing the floor side to side. They're really efficient on their offense, and that's three perfect keys for Andy.
Talk about Ohio Northern on their Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. Obviously a big thing for Northern with you and with the new staff and Coach Young about using pressure defense, force turnovers, win the offensive rebounding battle, and controlling the screens off the ball, about having a lot of off-ball action. Coach says, you know, we can't get standing around watching the paint dry.
Right.
Otherwise, we're going to have a long night.
Yeah, and ONU's going to have to watch Jack Clement. He can shoot the basketball pretty well, and then Cam Evans does a great job of getting to the rim and finishing.
I'm told that a pretty smart gentleman tried to recruit a lot of these Otterbein kids to play at Northern.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Matt Winters here was my assistant for 3 years.
It's nice how that works out. So a big matchup on tap here in the OAC coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll have the opening tip from Ada here on NK Telco Sports.
Basketball fans, good evening. Welcome to the ONU Sports Center. At this time, we ask that you please stand and direct your attention to Old Glory at the west end of the gymnasium as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Getting set for the starting lineups here tonight in Ada, which I still think is one of the most beautiful courts of anywhere. Two of my favorite courts. I'm a little bit of a homer. One, because I've been an Ohio Northern fan my entire life. My wife went here. Between having the parquet floor here and in Spencerville, even when they redid the floor last year, I thought that was one thing that it just kind of gives it that little extra pop.
Yeah, absolutely. And the new bleachers are fantastic. I mean, that other side with the curtain that comes down and back here, they're much more comfortable seating and a little bit better environment.
First time these teams met was 1913 and 14, and they played 2 games. ONU won the first meeting 31-28. In the second game, 42-33 under Carl Peters, who I don't believe gets enough credit for being at the head of the program. ONU 75 and 60 all time against Otterbein, 31 and 15 here at the Sports Center complex, and 44 and 24 in the series overall. But you look at Otterbein coming off of a win against number 23 Illinois College in the Smokey Bollinger Classic, 74-71. Beat Adrian in the semis the day before. They've won 4 straight. We'll talk a lot about Cam Evans and Jack Clement, who you see running by in a second. But Ohio Northern won both games in Florida at Barry University in the Shores Cruising Classic, 66-50. They beat Olivet, and then beat Uranus 83-51. So they protected the border.
Yeah.
Went all the way to Florida to beat a team from Michigan and a team from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's how it works sometimes. It's funny though. I kind of got a chance to watch a little bit of the Otterbein conclusion at their tournament, and I watched a little bit of Northern in Florida. I thought both teams had a pretty good break.
Otterbein starting lineup has Jack Clement wearing number 2, the 6-foot grad student. Cam Evans, who had 22 on this floor a year ago against Northern, wearing 5, a 6-foot senior. Led the OAC in scoring a year ago. He's averaging 14 this year. Julian Heckman at 10 points a game, a 6-foot sophomore and 13. Troy Scouted, 6-foot sophomore, or 6'7" sophomore. I've got a story about him coming up during the course of this game, wearing 20. Chase Garrido, the 6'8" freshman center, wears 24. And for the Polar Bears in the white jerseys, Will Miller representing Ottoville High School, wearing 2, a 6'2" sophomore at 11.5 points a game. Blake Michael, the 6'3" junior, wearing 4. Carter Reese, the 6'3" freshman. Boy, oh boy, his number 15 had an impact on this team at 14 points a game. J.D. Cunningham, junior. Johnny now a 6-foot freshman wearing 21 at 11 points a game. And Caden Jacoby, 6'8" freshman wearing 34. I love these jerseys with Script Ohio Northern across the front.
Yeah.
But it's a much younger team than what the Polar Bears have had the last handful of years.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that...
I think the bigs are really maturing. Jacoby and then Hansen. I think they've really contributed a lot. I thought they looked really good in the Mount Union game. They didn't back off of some of the Mount Union players who were pretty big.
Women are getting ready to play as well as they are down in the greater Columbus area in Westerville. The Cardinals, I'm telling you, the guy to watch out for is going to be Cam Evans in this game. The 6-foot senior hit a couple of threes, had a lot of free throws in the game last year. He had a 9 out of 10 game against Denison. But if you get to the free throw point, 72% for one side, 71% for the other.
And he's really good at getting to the rim. Like, he's a handful.
Right off the tip, he nearly got himself there.
Yep.
So dribbled off his knee. And he's got a little bit different, too, because he's got those long, baggy shorts pulled way up there. It's a different part of the style.
Yeah, it does. That kind of switches from year to year.
So Otterbein trying to play some defense on Northern, but the first time it's you can't stop Caden Jacoby. First 2 of the ball game, and Northern just 15 seconds in takes an early lead.
Yeah, it was great penetration on the transition. Found him on the bounce pass.
Northern on the defensive now again, trying to stop Jack Clement, who averages 16 points a game. And also up on the reverse layup shot, blocked and knocked out of bounds. So 2 straight trips for an Otterbein team that averages just under 80 points a game, and Northern's come up with 2 big stops.
Yeah. You can see Otterbein really wants to dribble, penetrate, paint.
Otterbein's got a big game on Saturday as well as they welcome number 14 Mount Union to town. It's got to feel like that. Oh, we got to go to Ada and then welcome Mount Union home. Cunningham on that high dribble out front. Northern trying to find just kind of any holes early on and make the defense work for an extra 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, they're running now that motion offense of Ohio Northern's. lately he's had some little bit more set plays, but when they get into that motion, they move the ball pretty well.
Will Miller, with the shot clock winding down, took one from Millie's in Otterville. That is wing night there.
Oh,
that's probably why.
That's a great place.
The first foul of the ball game will go on Otterbein. It'll be on Jack Clement. I've tried to say over the years, if I say them enough, that maybe they'll, sponsor just me. Cunningham, the lefty at the line, rolls it down.
And I'd go to any Otterville games. That's usually where I'd end up.
Well, I figured it wasn't to hang out with Keith Udendorf.
No.
See how quick you are. I'll make sure to point that out to him. Yeah. So the second free throw to give Ohio Northern a 4-point lead, up and down. So ONU with back-to-back baskets here on consecutive trips, with even one coming from the free throw line, right to left. Quick little hesitation dribble. Nowhere to go, though, for Clement.
No.
Had to turn and find Heckman, who's 12 of 36 from deep.
They're doing a really good job of crowding the floor. Good steal.
Otterbein doesn't commit many turnovers, but they get their second here. What I love about it is not exactly behind where we're sitting at, but there are a lot of Ridgemont fans with having a young man from that area on Otterbein that they're here to celebrate.
Yeah.
He's not a Greater Cleveland kid if you listen to one of his teammates. Says a big Browns fan, though. That makes up for it.
Yeah, Mason Stuck. He was a really good player for them in high school.
Cunningham with a back down. Good little hide-and-seek screen and up and down. What a great roll to get a 6-0 lead at just 1:46 in, and Kaden Jacoby's got 4 of the 6. It's a 30-second timeout brought to you by Precision Strip here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Boy, that's as mad as I've seen Coach Andy Winters in a long time. It just didn't. They're just not handling the ball screens and the roll very well.
You saw that right going into the break. So a couple of turnovers already for Otterbein, a team that's protected the basketball well through their 8-3 start. It's almost a third of the season gone already at Northern, with Cunningham just playing deny.
Yeah, really pushing them out.
Nothing
in
to
passing
do for
lanes.
Clement.
See, they're getting drives, but they're not getting any good looks from the drives.
Got inside again, and I think Will Miller is going to be adding a 1 next to his foul tally. Just enough that he caught Cam Evans on the back of the leg on his way by. So first personal on him. Otterbein, who played Ohio University in their exhibition game. Northern played Butler, got inside, and that's a tough throw. Troy Scouten is a fascinating story, by the way, because when he was in high school, he was 16 years old, and he broke his skull attempting to dunk a basketball, was back 10 weeks later.
Oh, yeah.
That hurt me just listening to it. 3 for Miller, bingo. Northern off to a 9-2 lead as they've spaced the floor. And how much is that going to come into play for them later, that they're making Otterbein work an extra 5, 6, 7 seconds?
And Mike, they're really pushing them out, offensively. Otterbein's running their offense pretty high out, a bomb the 3-point line, because of how well Ohio Northern's playing defense.
It's going to be Jared Krager out of Sunbury and Big Walnut High School. The 6'3" junior in for the first time. Spelled like Krieger from Delphus, but not said the same, we're told.
That's tough going over Caden Jacoby. He's got a lot of length on that out of bounds.
Krieger's working the mustache game strong, though. It's just up and inside. Clement slashes his way. Cuts the lead to 9-4, 3 minutes in, and Cunningham.
Good help out of Otterbein on dribble penetration.
It's a good-looking freshman, too, is Cunningham. Able to work inside. Miller wants to go baseline. Turn around, Jay. Glass, no good. Rebound, take it out of the hands of Hansen. Or sorry, of Jacoby, rather. It screws me up because Hansen changed his number from a year ago.
Yeah.
But he's number 20 now, and I haven't caught up to it.
They're doing a great job of crowding the floor, stopping that dribble penetration.
Cunningham with a great drop underneath and the reverse layup for Blake Michael, now the fourth different player to score for his team. Great anticipation of they're going to play me right side. I'm going to have to go reversal.
Yep. They're doing a good job stopping that penetration. There's always someone around the basketball.
Clement with a drive and a kick, and Heckman off the miss, but an offensive rebound. Those are killers. Thrown away. Here comes Will. Up and off the glass for two. And I think Northern has about a 100% success rate of turning turnovers into points in this game. This is the awkward off balance. Julian Heckman looking like Rich Bensman in his driveway.
I'm telling you, he had great body control because he had to go over Caden Jacoby, and that wasn't easy.
15:41 to go. So a fast first half so far with Northern able to put up points. They average 73.6 on the year. That two-game winning streak in Florida stopped a four-game losing streak. So they try to box and come back up top on the split with 6 on the shot clock. Up and down for Carter Reese.
They're really showing hard on those ball screens too, Otterbein is. And that's going to be susceptible for a roll down low.
Reese with his 21st three of the year. Now here comes Cam, just dribbling it off, and everybody. How that stayed in and to even get to Clement, I'll never know. He goes to the basket, 4 guys there waiting on him, and he threw it away. Already the 5th turnover. And again, I'm not trying to beat home a point, but this is a team that is very good with the basketball, just 9.5 a game. See, backdoor lob inside, stripped and fouled on the way up.
Part of that is on their drives. You know, Northern's always got someone in the lanes, kind of crowding the floor, and they're just getting touch on the basketball.
Kind of feel like Northern is playing about 2 seconds ahead of time right now.
Yeah.
Trio of subs coming up with a lot of large gentlemen in front of me, including Reese Huber, the 6'3 sophomore. Here comes Cunningham. Lady behind me's not happy. Off the back of the room. She's more happy, though, than that lady a couple weeks ago with the women's game.
She was very unhappy. She's just asking for those Otterbein boys to play a little bit more together.
It's like, ma'am, we're going to need for just a second, please. So 1 out of 2 from a line is what the Bears were looking for to go to 11 points on their advantage. Cunningham spins it down and out. So he hit the first 2, missed the next 2. Otterbein will bring it back, trying not to run the one-man show, which I assume is Jack Clement.
Try to get that curl cut off that elbow screen.
Miller stop Brock Waits. 6-foot sophomore, averages just under 7 a game, but again, nowhere for him to go.
No.
Deep into the shot clock for Clement. Spins and a great looking fall away. Right off the front of the rim. Cunningham with the block from behind. And out of play on Krager.
I mean, there's hands all the time contesting when Otterbein's going up for a shot.
Mason Studer into the ball game for Ohio Northern at 14-18.
We got to watch the backside.
There's a huge mismatch of inbounding versus standing in front, jumping up and down.
Right.
Brock Waits is listed at 6 foot. Shuttles it all the way back to 16 now on the play clock. Oh, and a deep 3 from the wing. That might have even been altered. Reason that doesn't come through. Now the miss. Here come the Bears again. They have 3 guys trailing, though, including Carson Conley, the 6'1 senior.
Yeah, no, the coaching staff for Otterbein wants them to really heat up the passing lanes and start to heat up the ball a little bit. I think Ohio Northern came out and played a little harder at the start of this game. 3 from the wing, deep and not anything enough on it. For ONU. Hansen with the miss. He came in 5 for 9. Now he's got to get back and stop these handoffs. And how much of that right now is Northern just completely disrupting Otterbein's anticipated offensive? They now have to go higher and hand off just to get a pass in. Really active hands, and Otterbein is just not taking care of the ball on their drives. 13 minutes left in the first half. Northern trying to create. Working inside. Hansen on the pull-up, a left-handed finger roll, no good.
Coaching staff next to me, not impressed. It's a couple of high screens now with a junior and Alex Hanna.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ohio Northern's got a little bit more of a motion offense now, and Otterbein's got a little bit more of a pattern to it.
3 guys and nobody boxed out Jared Krager, but he couldn't get that shot to drop. That's one that I guarantee, no matter how this goes, that Northern's going to go back and watch this film and just kind of, okay, we have to stop this.
Yeah.
So now Miller isolated on the right side at 12:27, drives and spins. Got away from the bucket, left it in the corner. Even with a bad take, the 3 offline for Carter Reese.
Mason Studer about got that offensive rebound.
3 or 4 guys end up on the floor as the straightaway triple. Alex Hanna, 8 of 18 coming in. Good looking shot. But
yeah,
again,
he was open.
You just kind of got to feel like the rims are rigged at some point. 12 minutes up on the board is now.
Here comes a little bit more of a pattern when they run this dribble weave action. Ohio Northern, it's a little bit more of a designed action. They'll get some back cuts into maybe some post seals.
Marks and scouting into the ball game. A timeout brought to you by Precision Strip. 11:55 in the first. Northern up 16-6 here on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Ohio Northern leading by 10, 11:55 to go in the first half. Down at Otterbein right now. It's the Ohio Northern women with a minute to go in the first quarter, up 15-12. After Noe Ruane missed a free throw, but offensive rebounding, which has been a big key for the ONU women this year.
Yeah.
This also helps Chloe Glenn had a monster game a couple of games ago. And you get to go to Vegas for the holidays.
And
Vegas and Florida
that's a really good trip. A few years ago, men and women, we went down, and it's a really good venue.
I asked if I could fit in a suitcase, and they said, we don't have a suitcase that big. Leave us alone. Please stop calling. So a couple of subs that I was going to talk about before, and Troy Scouten and Sean Marks were the 2 guys who came in the last time around. Look at Coach Young in his second year at Ohio Northern, 15-21, sitting at 5-6 right now. But how big would this be momentum-wise for Northern?
Yeah, this would be a big game for them.
0-4 so far in the OAC as Otterbein works off a couple of screens and low points one. That a foul on Mason Studer. He didn't like it.
No, it was kind of close, but always there for the help. So there's always coverage on the ball. Sometimes it's the double team.
Polar Bears bring back in Hayden Hansen and Johnny Cunningham Jr.
And when they play it like this, you got to watch out for that backside.
So just the fake of the handoff that Scouten didn't have anywhere he could go. Trying to back down himself. How did he get that ball there? Through traffic to Reese Huber for 2. Physics says that the ball should not bounce and spin that way.
Yeah.
Also, you should not be able to throw.
Studer was there. It was just a half a second slow on the touch.
Now we're seeing it the other way. Noah Langford, the 5'10 freshman, into the ball game for the first time for ONU.
Here comes that motion offense. A lot of stuff run around the free throw line area.
The defense is picked up in terms of tempo, though, for Otterbein. As Studer tries to get himself to the basket, pull around, falls in. They say sometimes better lucky than good.
Yeah.
End of the first, by the way, down in Westerville. It's 15-12 Ohio Northern's women on top.
Oh, there was a back cut. They just didn't value the basketball.
7th turnover of the first half is now Cunningham will cut and run through the defense, got caught underneath, turned, and as he went, he had the right idea, drew 2 guys with him, but he stepped out of bounds.
Otterbein had the back screen on the last offensive possession, just didn't pass the basketball very well. Sometimes that's what it comes down to, is, passing and catching.
Seems like a problem.
Yeah.
Coming up on halfway through this first half.
See, they run that little flat butt screen at the top of the key.
Cam Evers back in for the first time in quite some time. He's not in foul trouble. He's just sat for, I'd say, good about 5 or 6 minutes. It's a kick across, left wing triple. Nothing for Krager again, but
that was actually a better shot for Otterbein, though, because they went inside out and they didn't try to force.
Cam put him on skates.
Yep.
3-ball again, an air ball. I'm waiting to see the numbers as the ball on the floor results in a turnover. ONU with a 2-on-3, racing back, and on the reverse layup, Noah Langford. 7 different Polar Bears have scored here in the first half to take a 12-point lead.
Yeah, that was a great little Euro step.
Hayden Hansen, you think he's one of the Hansen brothers from Slapshot? I think he's a little young for that.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, he's like 25 years too young, I think, for that.
He's long.
And again, anytime you put him in front of Bryce Stewart.
Yep.
Or, sorry, in front of Brock Waits, rather.
A little curl
Wrong
cut,
B.
but once again, it just passed that was behind him.
Good leave on the trailer. Take all the big guys in with you. Leave it to Scoutin. He'll make it work. Cuts lead in half at 20-10 now.
Here comes Clements back in the game for Otterbein.
All moved around the top for Conley.
It's like Blake Michaels coming back in the game for Ohio Northern.
And that's one of those fascinating calls, too, because this time around, they give it to Krager, but it's one that kind of with that extension of the arm that Carson Conley could easily have go the other way.
Yeah.
Just kind of depends on how the official, I guess, if he had one more step each way of how he's going to call it. So the inbound will come from Carter Reese. Was a leading scorer to captain at Westerville North.
Here comes that dribble weave.
Had 157 threes in high school. Just hasn't really taken that step yet. Northern works on the baseline. Cunningham goes back to the top block. Shot puts one up that hits 3 or 4 different guys in the head. So coming back the other way now again. Evans in traffic.
They had it. Otterbein has transition on the right side of the floor that time. They missed it.
Great move.
That's just
take on the big guy knowing that he's picked up a foul. And Evans, like I said, at 22 last year against Northern, does it from inside. 4-point run for Otterbein.
Going to get a Hansen to try to get the back screen on Jacoby, I'm sorry.
So Reese will take it back now with the shot clock down to 13. Inside, and he found a handful of red jerseys there waiting on him. ONU seems perplexed on this set of plays.
Yeah.
It's a drop from the baseline. And a hot potato shot for Caden Jacoby's 6th point. He did not hold that for even a second.
No.
Saw the shot clock at about 4, and he was able to make that one get up and in. Will Miller returns for Northern. It'll be Chase Carrito, the 6'8 freshman for Otterbein.
Just to put a little bit more size on Jacoby.
I'm just trying to picture this. I saw a couple of interviews done with Chase Carrito, 6'8", 230 pounds, out of Brecksville Broadview Heights High School. And he said one thing people don't know about him is he plays the saxophone. That's a big kid with a saxophone.
Yeah. That's a nice talent to have.
They got another kid, Mike Steele, who plays the guitar. They can form their own band. I think they have a band at Otterbein, but hey, you know, you get some kind of NIL deal out of it. Polar Bears with the basketball left to right for the last 7.5 minutes.
Well, they got a good back screen there for Jody Cunningham to be wide open.
There's a new one.
Bounced right off of him and back to him.
If you can't get it, that's the opposite hand for Jacoby, back-to-back for him. But, you know, going back to that pass, if you can't get yourself an opportunity, if you picked up the ball, throw it as hard as you can off the guy in front of you. Came right back. Here's the Northern run again. Tried the stick back, and if there's a big guy standing next to you, he's going to bully it away. Little hop step and a blocking foul, and one. There are going to be some Orange Cloud fans who are not thrilled about that. That's one that makes me glad we cannot give replays.
Yeah, he might have been moving just a little.
We hit the timeout, and Coach Young is asking a lot of things. Can I get an Iron Claw review? What free throws when we come back? 6:57 in half number 1. Northern up by 10 here on NK Telco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
.657 to go in half number 1 as you see the coach's Winters getting things going and trying to explain exactly what he wants here. It's been kind of an up and down first half, but if any time you come out of the timeout here and you've got a guy the caliber of Jack Clement at the free throw line with a chance to get back to single digits, you feel better about yourself. I wouldn't say good, but you feel better.
And really, if they can get it in the single digits, Otterbein, as many shots as they've missed, that would be a pretty good situation for them.
That last play, the basket was good by Jack Clement.
Substitution now. It's about MJ Davis, his 9th game of the year. MJ had 7 letters in high school: football, basketball, and track. He's a big Chief Keef fan. Do you have a favorite Chief Keef song?
No.
I didn't think so. You like them all? Free throw
short.
rattles down.
The roll.
So Clement's got 5 now. But again, the big takeaway is the fact that 9 turnovers a game. Otterbein's already been hit with that.
Yeah. And a lot of that, you got to credit Ohio Northern's defensive effort. They've always got someone crowding in the lane. They always got hands, active hands. A lot of touched basketballs that turned to turnovers.
Davis trying to continue the trend of drive, kick out, triple down. Blake Michael with his 7th of the year, and Northern back to a double-digit lead at 12.
I saw him score his 1,000th point in high school.
You can see why. There's another turnover. Davis coughed it up. 1-on-0 racing. Oh, hello. Racing back the other way is Langford. Lady behind me wanted to travel. I think the ice rink underneath didn't help. It's a block up on his toes and a 3 on the way.
Got to block out.
So offensive rebounding is a killer again. Let's see, 4th point now for Julian Heckman. Heckman, who was the OAC's freshman of the year a year ago. Proving big dividends as a sophomore.
They got Jacoby down low.
Oh, great spin. So unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere. Northern had about 3 or 4 really nice moves, but they didn't go anywhere. And I'm sure that'll annoy coaches.
Really good.
Bank is open. It's the Premier Bank. It's the First National Bank at a Premier shot. Up and good for Cunningham. He had hit just 3 out of 22 before that. When it's your night, it's your night.
See, they're pushing them so far out on their offense.
I don't know what happened there, but called that a turnover. It's an interesting fact that there was no call either way. Just a bunch of dudes running into other dudes.
Yep, and throwing the ball out of bounds.
Unofficially, the 10th turnover. Actually, that's 11. So both coaches up and making substitutions. Hayden Hansen, the 6'9" sophomore, back in. And again, Ohio Northern thinks the world of this kid, of what he can do. Led the OHC when he was at Cedarville in rebounding and block shots. He had 4 blocks a game.
Yeah. And he came back a little bit. He gained a little weight over the summertime, which was really good for him. He still needs to gain more, but he came back a little bit bigger.
A couple of high screen and handoffs Playing pitch and catch with everybody flashing back up through. Conley realized it wasn't going to be what he was looking for. Northern, no problems getting to the bucket. The problem is putting it in at times. It's a shot rejected by Heckman. Heckman with a good lob, and wide open is Krager for three. Still hasn't been able to connect.
Offensive board.
Blocked from behind and almost flat-footed was Hansen.
Yeah, he got all on top of that basketball. That's what I mean. He's so long.
That'll be on Krager. That'll be his second. How frustrating is that, though, as a coach? Because you miss a shot, yeah, okay, it happens. You turn it over, yeah, it happens. But then you compound that with back-to-back mistakes of committing the foul, just being kind of overly aggressive, but not being in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, he had a normal drive probably would have been there, but when you got Hansen, as long as he is, he got on top of that ball.
Here's Hansen again, beautiful turn on the cut. Studer with a reversal, won't drop. Evans with a rebound. Beard game is strong, by the way. I'm jealous. I couldn't grow anything remotely that close. A little stop and go and around the world trying to create an open space. Great between the legs dribble for Heckman to get to the basket. But again, that basket is closed. Down to the floor. Carter Reese hit that hockey slick spot again under the ice.
You got Hansen down low, erasing a lot of those drives for scores.
3:29, Hansen with the screen. Deep shot from straight away. Up and good for Carter Reese. He's now hit two of them. And apparently he took it personal.
There he is again.
It's a 3 for the other side. No offensive rebounds allowed except for one. Jared Krager stayed in there with two fouls, and it was able to pay dividends in the timeout brought to you by Precision Strip. Northern up 14, just outside of 3 minutes to go in the first half here on NK Telco Sports. To go here in the first half as you see Ohio Northern coming back out of the timeouts. First National Bank scoreboard has got the Bears up 33-14. You can watch these games back, by the way. Get a chance to check them out online. You go to YouTube and look things up at NK Telco Sports on the NKT.TV app. Thursday night on channel 160 at 6 o'clock, or the 17th at noon, the 18th at noon on 3 or 503. YouTube, Facebook, nktelco.com/sports, where you can find these ball games.
We're going to run some action maybe right on the free throw line area here.
I'll be honest with you, I think I would have just taken it if I was Reese. Everybody was just standing there watching him. Hansen creates so much space as the off-balance take. Hey, bump and run for Cunningham didn't work.
Yeah, Ohio Northern probably could have looked for something a little bit better there.
And a foul up front. Kind of similar to what I was going for the last time around, that Cunningham misses that shot where he's kind of forced off the block, comes back on the other side and picks up a foul trying to get a steal. 2:41 to go here in the first half as Brock Waits, a 6-foot sophomore, out front with the basketball.
That was a little scissors cut for a back door. They didn't get it. Northern's doing a great job. Well, that's what you got to do. You got to backdoor that pressure.
Inside goes Evans off the glass for two. Cam is already a player of the week in the league. He averaged 19 and 7 the week of November the 17th or the 27th. And a foul away from the ball.
Yeah, I don't know what Cam was arguing about. He kind of just grabbed him right there off of that screen.
He doesn't have to. The lady behind me is.
Yeah.
Jeez. She's pretty much sitting by herself. I think that there might be a reason for that. Shout out to all the people watching online as well, rooting on the Bears for the most part, or rooting on Otterbein if they didn't make the trip. 2:08 to go now here in the first half, 33-21. Northern has led for the most part by double digits throughout the course of this half. Cunningham trying the lob, and it worked just enough. Hansen wasn't able to turn it off the glass, sort of back rimmed it. Wide open triple for Jack Clement. 13 of 35. He already had a 23-point output against Ohio Wesleyan.
It was a great inside-out drive and kick. I mean, his feet, the ball comes from an inside out, your feet are much more set.
As we get close to the half, we'll stay here and look at the upcoming schedule for both teams. I talked about it Saturday. Is not an easy afternoon on either side because you get Mount Union if you're Otterbein, and at least you don't have to go to Alliance. Anytime you avoid going to Alliance, that's always good.
You know that to be true.
So home games against Mount Union and Marietta the next 2 nights. At Muskingum, at John Carroll, back home for Capital on the 20th. Northern goes to Muskingum on Saturday, home for Baldwin Wallace on the 10th, home for Capital on the 13th. Both games that you can see here on NK Telco Sports. They go to Wilmington. Oh, and then by the way, number 1 John Carroll visits on the 20th. At Otterbein, at Mount Union, home for Heidelberg. There's your month of January.
Yeah.
Find out how good you
that's
are.
OAC basketball.
So I don't think people talk enough about the OAC. Inside, beautiful move, high off the glass.
Great pass by Mason Studer.
That's Jacoby's 10th point of the half.
They are not handling, Otterbein's not handling those ball screens very well.
Evans on the right, little shuttle step, dropped it down. Might have been better served to take it himself. Works against long arms, off balance, and draws a foul. They did not call that on who I assumed it was going to be. It's on Studer. That's number 2 for him. Maybe it's because the long arms from Jacoby just sort of dominated the landscape.
He wasn't going over. I think Mason just kind of came down and got a little bit of his arm.
Evans already had a big one last year when he beat Oberlin with a 3 from straight away as the buzzer sounded. Knocks down the first free throw. First team OAC last year out of Zane Trace High School in Chillicothe. Was the first player in 11 years at Otterbein to be named first team. Talk nice about him, and he puts down 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Lead cut back to 9 for the first time in a long time.
And he's got some experience, too. I mean, he was around when I was coaching.
Northern with the runner from the right side and left hand out of bounds. I didn't see it. Carter Reese got a reprieve somewhere along the line. So 1:06 left in the first half. Bears up 35-26. Quick little screen and go. Reese for 3. It's a terrific shot coming off that inbound. He's now got a game high 11, and the Bears back up by 12 at 38-26. Nobody's going to stop Clement.
No.
He's going to go to the rack all day long.
That's where Jacoby just got there a little bit late from behind.
10 points now in the game for him. He comes in with a solid 16-point average. Carter again off the front of the rim. Blake Michael got knocked off the ball there. And as Ohio Northern tries to key it in from the side and go back the other side. Now, 38-28. You look at the way that this half is going to come to an end. Northern makes a pair of substitutions in Conley Langford. If you are Otterbein, are you playing for one or are you playing for a good one?
Oh, I'm playing for a good one, yeah.
Because it's kind of one of those weird things where you assume most defenses assume that you're playing for one.
And if you can get it in single digits, that would be great 1.5 for Otterbein.
I don't think in the last 5 or 6 minutes Otterbein has any possession in which they've gotten 7 seconds or lower on the shot clock.
Yeah, they're going to just play this out with Clement atop. A little flat screen.
It's a pretty good choice.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he hit himself in the keister.
Yep.
And on the turnover, Northern with a chance to end the half with a score. And they do. Off another turnover. They get Cunningham up off the glass for 2. Johnny finishes with 7. And it's a 12-point lead for Ohio Northern at the break.
I used to always say a little too much jelly on that roll with Jackie. he kind of got himself into, two guys surrounding him, and he tries to go around his back.
That's not going to work. It's a 12-point lead here at halftime. Ohio Northern on top.
That's a big possession, because if they could get it to 30, with an 8-point game versus a 12-point game, that was a real big possession for Ohio Northern.
We'll talk about on the other side of the break. You're watching a OAC college basketball here on NK Telco Sports.
If you're a veteran, surviving spouse, or a dependent of a veteran, contact Shelby County Veteran Service Commission today. We can help you apply for a wide range of veteran-related benefits that you earned. Shelby County Veteran Service Commission. Veterans helping veterans.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Welcome back inside Campoli Court here in Ada. It is a lead of 40-28 for Ohio Northern as we take a look at our Grand Lake Health Systems mid-game stats. The big numbers that jump out for me on these stats, Rich, are 12. They say 2. I had 3 turnovers for Otterbein, but it's kind of splitting hairs. But you look at exactly what I was talking about earlier about Northern able to put up 12 points off those turnovers. Yep. So essentially 1 for 1. 3-point shooting, we just talked about. You said, is that right? I'd say that's pretty close. 1 for 11.
Yeah, 1 for 11 for Otterbein and 6 for 10 for Ohio Northern. Therein lies a big difference in a game right there as well. So as the 12 points on the turnovers.
One thing that we just learned during the break, too, congratulations to Otterbein's senior and Cam Evans with the 2 free throws he hit just before the break. He picked up his 1,000th career point. And that, you know, people will look at that and say, oh, it's not as much of an accomplishment as it used to be because of the nature of the way the game is played with the scoring. But I disagree. I mean, I think anytime you've had 1,000 points, you've had a pretty special career.
Yeah, that is a special career.
Especially for a kid that led the conference in scoring. Jack Clement leads his team with 10. Evans has got 6. Krager and Scouten each with 2. 4 from Julian Heckman, 2 from Reese Huber. The scoring in the first half for the Bears, 11 from Carter Reese, including 3 of those 6 3-pointers you see there. Ohio Northern being out-rebounded, though, 23-10. And I don't have the exact number, but I would imagine offensively, offensive rebounds just 1 for Ohio Northern. They're saying quite a few on the other side. I mean, offensive rebounds, Jared Krager's got 5 by himself for Otterbein.
And that's usually something that Ohio Northern does pretty well, is get on the offensive glass.
Caden Jacoby has 10 points in the first half, 2 for Mason Studer and Noah Langford, 5 apiece from Will Miller and Blake Michael. We talked about keys to the game early on. When you think about this, boxing out, finishing possessions being one of the big keys for Otterbein. Northern able to use pressure to force turnovers. Unique challenges, but I think one thing that really hasn't gone Northern's way, despite the fact that they lead by 12, is like we just talked about. They one of their keys is offensive rebounding and limiting extra possessions. They haven't been able to do that, but lucky for them, Otterbein's not been able to close out those possessions.
Yes.
So we'll see what the second half looks like. It's going to be Miller, Michael, Reese, Cunningham, and Jacoby on the floor for the Bears, assuming
Otterbein can come back from that momentum shift that went Ohio Northern's way at the end of the first half.
Heckman, Evans, Clement, Garrido, and Scouten, 5 on the floor as the teams will switch ends of the floor for Ohio Northern. They now will come to the right where the rims were closed in the first half. See how this plays out as they run a lot of those screens. And I think first 4 or 5 minutes, see 4 or 5 minutes kind of similar to what we saw in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, and Coach Winters yelling out cover 2. I think that's a lot of the back screening action for the back doors that he's trying to take away.
Good block by Garrido, the 6'8 freshman. Averages a couple of those. So just nothing for him to do, though. Cunningham tried to cut off the traffic and stop Evans from getting anywhere.
I got a little bit of a post seal there.
Long arms. 13th turnover of the ball game. Northern tried to turn it back into points as they did so well in the first half. Miller leading down. Reese never looked at the basket. I don't think he was ever going to go there.
No, it was a great flare cut by Carter Reese, though.
So Jacoby on the inside as Miller will screen down across and a no-look rocket inside the reverse layup. You can't do that if you're under the basket.
No.
Although, again, offensive rebounding. Northern, I like that they get these quick screens where if it's not there, they just kind of roll away and try something else.
They're pretty late in the shot clock now.
Will Miller, usually a magician with a shot clock winding down. I don't think he got that one off. Amazingly, that's the first shot clock violation we've had today. Other games going on. The ONU women in the second quarter leading 22-15, and that game's got to be a lot further along than what my screen says.
Comes a little horn set and then a roll down. That's nice action, but he missed it.
I don't know what Scout was doing. He was thinking about
point blank
dunking maybe, or he just kind of got lost in the middle of it. ONU women now up 32-28 in the second half.
That was a good design set play, though. They had horns up at the top and kind of a misdirection for Jack Clement, and then that's what left a wide open post touch.
Unless it's Washington, then it's horns down.
That's right.
Worked out for them. I'm not even sorry. I don't even know any Texas fans. It's supposed to be a slick spot on the floor. Didn't we used to have a guy with, did we lay him off with the brush during
I don't know
COVID?
where he's at.
I think we, because what else would you do with those giant brushes?
Yeah, we had
not
one
really
on both
much
ends.
else. Just come and sweep up your office every once in a while.
It's also maybe because we're on Christmas, we're still on break.
Well, that's what's great about this place, though, when the students get back in here. And we saw that about a month ago with the women when they were in here, that when this place is rocking, oh, my goodness, it is completely something else.
Yeah, that whole side on the women's tournament run last year was really well supported by the students.
They just like getting on TV. Evans puts the free throw down. He's 3 of 3. He came in as an 83% free throw shooter on the year. And I will not be taking criticism off that one on Twitter. That wasn't my fault. Ball out of bounds, though, will stay on that end. Just an 11-point lead now for ONU.
Boy, you got.
Oop. I don't know who was checking in, but he's not eligible.
Length.
So you can't teach that, as I understand.
No.
But ONU, the one thing I like about the composition of this team, we talked earlier about this being a much younger team than what Ryan had in his first year and what you had in your last couple of years.
Right.
That they have so many different guys who can do a lot of the same as Cunningham leaks one out. Lucky he didn't get called for a foul. The take by Michael, but they have so many guys who can handle the basketball.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of a few years ago, we played 4 freshmen. When the 4 freshmen played a lot for us.
The ball must have been tipped along the way, and I just didn't see it from my angle. So ONU women, by the way, up just 2 now.
That's nice.
Handoff for Reese. Dribbles left free throw line, got popped in the face.
Wow, that was pretty physical.
Right back up with a shot clock at 2 off the front of the rim. Cade Jacoby, that's his first attempt of the year. Why? Because he doesn't necessarily have to shoot that.
Yeah, I got Jacoby with a kind of reach around there. It's pretty close. They could have stepped through it, but maybe he just got a little body.
ONU women off to a 6-4 start. There, the exact reversal of the boys is a timeout. There's your length.
And what's susceptible the way Ohio Northern's playing that out of bounds would be the backside. But Otterbein really hasn't gotten anything to that backside.
It's a full timeout. The explanation, Otterbein doesn't have any more 30s. 40-29 ONU here in the second half on NK Telco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
First National Bank scoreboard with Ohio Northern on top, 40-29. Look at a way that this series has come to be. I said earlier on, ONU is 31-15 here at the ONU Sports Center. But it's kind of a fascinating thing. Neil Young, by the way, is just 51 wins behind Rich Bensman for 7th place on the all-time list.
Well, there you go.
Reese, the former Indiana, Illinois, and Georgia resident, picked up the coaching vacancy in April of 22. For the Bears, 385 and 180 in what is now going to be the 50th season of this building, which blows me away.
A lot of special games in this building.
But it's something the last couple of years. ONU, that mystique sort of, I don't know what it is, it kind of went by the wayside. 4-7 here last year, and since you guys went 10-3 when you were the coach of the 16-17 year, 27-36 in this building. So building on that here tonight, and everything immediately turning into a turnover there.
They're having a hard time inbounding that ball.
I wouldn't want a bunch of 6'7" guys in front of me either.
No.
So I think you look at Carter Reese, I think he's due for a special year, and he could be a really good one over the course of his career. 3 all the way.
Oh.
Reese, that's a wrestling move, and the ONU wrestling team had a great day today.
Yeah.
Could have used him. Now dribble and kick into the corner. And of course, you know, anytime you have to replace a 4-year leading scorer and rebounder, you got to do some work. And Blake Michael with the first ONU point of the half about 4 minutes in.
Really good body control there.
Goes to show what this program has been, though. It's the spinorama off the miss. Rebound back down.
Get anything. They're playing some really good defense.
To Reese now on the reverse off the spin. Get out of here, Blake Michael. That's not legal. And by that, I mean against the laws of physics. But look at what Northern has been, obviously, with C.J. Napier leaving after last year. And, you know, with having a kid right now playing at Dayton and a kid playing at Ohio, or playing at Cincinnati. I mean, that speaks a lot about what you guys have been able to bring in here the last handful of years.
Yeah, C.J.'s at Dayton and Landon Long's at the University of Cincinnati.
Thought it was a really cool thing when they got to play each other.
Yeah, I was actually at
Miller.
I was
for
in
3.
Cincinnati. I was at one of our state championship players' wedding, so I didn't get to see it.
It looked pretty neat on Twitter. That's where I get my information. 44-29. You can find us at NK Telco Sports. It's a late drop, just enough to make him look the other way. Skoden with now his 6th point. He got the team's first point, about the same point in the first half.
Really good cutting and screening by Ohio Northern right now offensively.
Miller trying to draw a defender with him to get Studer open.
That was a little flare cut by Reese.
It's amazing, the reversal of that ball, the way it just thudded off the opposite side of the rim. So another dribble handoff to get Jack Clement going, and the grad student makes a shot. It doesn't count. ONU women just before the end of the third quarter, leading 38-36. Cunningham back in at 15:35.
Seems to be a little confusion here for Otterbein.
I don't think there's any confusion for Coach Winters.
No.
He's got all kinds of things.
Hand Ricky is what they call that. I don't know if that's what they were looking for.
Oh, beautiful bounce pass across.
Great
That
finish.
ball has there's no reason that should be able to not be stopped just by kicking it, if nothing else, but Studer with another basket.
Yeah, it was a great left-handed finish by Studer.
Speaking of, the off balance with the leg kick for Krager. You get 2, we get 2. So it's something Northern can afford to do long-term, though, just trading baskets. I mean, they're up 12 for most of the game.
The first half kind of played out, but it's what's happening now.
I got to be honest, I don't know what Cunningham had happen there, but they maybe let him get away with being on skates. Let's lead up to 13 as Jack Clement will come out, and I heard him tell him, just go ahead and catch your breath. It's a guy you can't really afford to have on the bench for a long term.
Him or Kim.
So they're calling out a lot of the switches. Oh, hello. Heckman had popcorn fingers.
A little staggered screen is how that started. So once again, a pretty good defense.
Evans banging inside on Cunningham, turns and pops for 2.
That's where he's really good.
And again, you see why he's more than a 1,000-point scorer. This kid can do it on pretty much any end. Evans coming off 20 points in the win over Illinois College. Miller now trying to show his own wares.
Really good patience so far.
Suter, off balance, and drew every bit of that foul. He's just got that innate ability with one quick step to find himself at the basket.
Yeah, and he's got good upper body strength as well.
First foul on Brock Waits.
He's kind of, Mason Studer's kind of went up and hit the weights this summer as well.
Up and down on the free throw, his 5th point. He had 46 college credits by the time he even got to Northern. Goes to show how smart of a kid somebody has recruited. Had 15 against Heidelberg in December, that was his high. But this is a kid at 974 points and an 89-11 record at Colonel Crawford.
Yep.
Just knows how to win.
Yeah, I was at the game where he broke the assist record.
It's the 23-year-old record at Colonel Crawford. And that's such a neat thing, too, because, you don't normally get a kid who scores 1,000 points. He has 413 assists in his career.
Yep.
At 15 in a game, he can share and score. And a foul will stop the clock.
Yeah, they're trying to isolate Cam Evans down low on the block.
Back comes Kid Jacoby, the 6'8 freshman, had 10 points in the first half.
There's that backside. Good job covering it, though.
I'll tell you what, this is a fascinating call there, because as Miller went to go around the screen, it looked to me from where I'm looking at that Evans grabbed his jersey. And Miller just sort of had a weird retaliation where he had no choice but to grab back. Alex Hanna up to the free throw line after the foul on Langford. That'll be his second. So now 3 different guys with 2 fouls. Alex Hanna at the free throw line.
They're denying so strong on the front side that you got to make that backside cut.
So Alex Hanna out of Milford High School, 6'6", 215 junior. Tell you what, I wonder what position he played, because he played lacrosse in high school.
Yeah, he was a Milford Eagle. I forgot about that.
Played some basketball and lacrosse. So no dice on either free throw. Keeps the game at a 13-point advantage for the Bears.
Carter Reese with a little post as well.
Oh, great move. Waited for 2 different guys to go by, did Jacoby, and drew the foul. You look at that and you kind of say, all right, Otterbein trapped Reese on the baseline. There was nothing he could do. 3 defenders between he and the young man in Jacoby that he went to. And he just made it work.
He got that pass through. That was a good move by Jacoby.
I just watched it back, and it was even better the second time around as Jacoby misses on the free throw. Kid who was a 3rd-team All-Ohioan as a senior last year out of Pettisville. Shuttle to the baseline now. And, it's a good move when you lose yourself.
Yep.
Gregor did just that. It's a kick back out. Evans waited for the traffic to go through.
Good help defense.
Weaves his way all the way there, and it was just enough that it looked like that Conley had to take one step back, and it forced that opening to where the basketball was going to go through.
Right, and he turned. If he would have just squared him off a little bit, he'd been okay.
Money ball. Carter Reese with his 4th triple in this game, and I think he's 4 of 6 now for 14 points. Evans off the handoff. Oh, I don't know if that was supposed to go through. And ends up as a turnover. Sean Marks came into the ball game. Out will go Alex Hanna. In will come Jack Clement. Clement's been on the bench for 3 or 4 minutes now.
I was just going to mention that.
So 53-37 at 12:36.
Otterbein's going to pick up a little bit more.
Unofficially, Otterbein 1 of 11 from 3. Ohio Northern 7 of 15.
Yeah.
So here comes Studer. He hasn't gotten one yet, but he's got 4 in the half.
Good pass.
Feeds inside, and forget threes when you keep feeding the big guy. 55-37, largest lead. Ohio Northern now with 28 points in the paint. A turnover, a no foul, or a steal. Is there a point, though, where, I mean, Northern is taking 15 seconds off the shot clock here.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They're being very deliberate and getting some pretty good looks at the end of the shot clock.
Cunningham's got 7, but it's always interesting to me because my wife talks about how she gets frustrated with teams with big leads where they sort of back off what they do. Is there a point, though, where there's a 3, a long distance on the way, where you maybe take an extra 4 or 5 seconds as opposed to maybe 10?
Yeah.
Cunningham off the lob with a beautiful throw and a timeout coming.
Yeah,
what a run for Jacoby.
Whatever they want.
Not that long ago, he didn't have any in this half, and now he is dominating on the scoreboard. 11:27 in half number 2. That is a 22-point lead for ONU here on NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Back here in Ada, Ohio Northern now to a 22-point lead with 11:27 to go here in half number 2. And if you look into their huddle, you'll see a lot of bewildered faces. Here's a big reason why. 18 turnovers for Otterbein as opposed to 4 for ONU. But the 2 big numbers, off of the 4 ONU turnovers, Otterbein has 5 points. Yeah. And off of the 18 turnovers for Otterbein, ONU has 20.
Yep.
That's a big number. Hi, Mom.
That's been a big key.
That's Rich. That's Mike Miller.
Yeah.
He's updating the women's game, which
that's
44-42 in the fourth quarter. It's in favor of ONU. See how each game turns out. Actually, Northern just hit a basket to make it 47-42, now to 49-42. So the Bears back from Vegas, where they went 2-0, or actually they went 1-1. The boys went 2-0 in Florida. Trying to weave that inside, and just enough of the move. Jack Clement, is that what you anticipate we're about to see as him try to take over?
That was kind of a set design play for Jack from the beginning. He kind of made a little Iverson cut into a nice little backdoor situation.
Practice? Does he practice that?
Well, they probably have that set in.
A foul up top on Waits will be his second.
Because it was out of that timeout.
Switch with Cam.
A lot of things having changed there. This ball thrown back up high, and if you're going to do that, give it to Cunningham. It's a good choice. Visited actually Otterbein before he decided to play at Ohio Northern. Wooster was another one. Spin inside, trapped up top, 3-ball away. Good box out, but a stolen ball and a foul on the floor.
Yeah, Otterbein just can't keep any kind of touches on it. It was a good block out, but then he didn't secure it after the block out.
So Reese, the freshman, will throw it in. And again, it's the first time, I'll be honest with you, I've watched Bears play on video, but it's the first time I've actually gotten to see him play in person. That is a heck of a pickup because that young man, he and Cunningham, are a heck of a duo. And the reverse layup, a little bit overzealous, maybe is Jotty this time. Evans in full stride. I agree with there not being a foul there. He lost it and got bailed out on the way up, I thought.
see how Otterbein handles this out of bounds because they've been having a hard time getting it over Jacoby.
10:21 left.
There it is. They're getting the guys to the right spot now because of that Jacoby playing that strong side so heavily. So that was a screen, a back screen for someone to make a cut on the block, and then he just rolled out of that.
So Jack Clement at the line was a second-team All-American last year on the Division III level. Free throw up and good for him. He was picked as a preseason All-American this year, and the third team. He's out of Bellefontaine High School, if his name sounds familiar to you. But the one thing that I thought was most fascinating about him is he says that he's an elite ping pong player. And only one of the assistant coaches or one of the only guys who can come anywhere near him, but he will take on all comers.
Well, Coach Winters, Matt, was obviously with us, and we were recruiting him pretty hard. So, you know, he was in Bellefontaine High School a lot.
Well, you could have started a ping pong team, I guess. You kind of missed that one. It's the Polar Bear ping pong team. Oh, my goodness. Kenny Jacoby. That should be illegal. To be that tall and to be able to do that.
I've said it all along, though, with Jacoby and Hansen. I think that's they're doing a really good job rotating in and out.
And the ball hit the bottom of the basket on the run from Clement. Back the other way.
The there.
Spotted up, corner, feet together, three away. There's no place like home. Mason Studer with a triple. That's his 14th of the year, and it's a 23-point lead for ONU.
Yeah, Otterbein's kind of run into a buzzsaw here tonight.
I don't think he clicked his heels together 3 times, but he didn't need to. The Polar Bear defense active, and you know that's kind of one of those things you talk about with the big guys for Northern. Yes, maybe it's not paying off right now with a team that's right around 500. Good box out for ONU, but you got a feeling that as they go along and they grow together the next couple of years that it will.
Yeah. So I had a player, Ryan
Studer
Bruns,
again. Bang.
They both remind me a lot of Ryan Bruns.
Studer with back-to-back triples now. He's got 7.5. And it's a 67-41 lead. Was the SBCA Player of the Year and a first-team All-Ohioan a couple of years ago at Colonel Crawford. First kid to do that there since 1941. Sorry, 91. I can't even read my own handwriting. 41 would be more impressive. It wouldn't be true, but it'd be impressive. I got looking at the 41 on the board, and that number came out. Substitution for Otterbein. We'll bring back in Julian Heckman. Bears counter with everybody. They almost brought in their entire numeric lineup, by the way. They went 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Studer, Miller, Langford, Michael, but they screwed it up because Conley had to come out, and Hansen went in.
Yeah, they got Ohio Northern's got a really good rotation, and as I said earlier, they're one of the best 0-4 teams I've seen in the OAC. And again, they had Mount Union at home. I think they played them really close. Could have come down to any possession. Same with Marietta at Marietta. Marietta had to kind of run that little home run play to steal the game.
Garrido, 7 of 15 from the line coming in. Just put 2 up with no problem. Those always amaze me when I see that happen, of just unkind rims. Miller with the catch into the corner. Now the run for Noah Langford. Langford, who was out of Toledo Central Catholic, led them to back-to-back 21 seasons, first time in over a decade. Oh, and they also won first district titles since 62-63. He's another one. As this team continues to grow together, it might not be showing right now at 5-6, but you kind of see it coming.
Yeah. Last game, that's what I said. I think they're just going to improve and get better when they understand each other.
Evans on the wing, just waiting for the basketball, but he's not going to get a chance. He was just standing there kind of doing jumping jacks. Said, hey, guys, you forgot about me. Studer drives baseline, kicks off a deflected ball. He wanted to go to Hayden Hansen. Ball on the floor. Possession will be Otterbein's ball, so Bears give it away. Women's game in the fourth quarter has Ohio Northern leading 56-44 with about 4 minutes to go. And you can just kind of see the energy from Otterbein has quickly depleted.
Waned a little bit.
Except for one guy. Great fake, but nowhere to go.
Nope.
Nobody was there to help out Clement. Krieger tried to help him. He, Evans, and ultimately Brandon McLaughlin playing in his fourth game of the year. Great drive and a left-handed take by Clement. Of course, the PA guy has to call him Clement, even though we had a whole conversation. Bears with a couple of subs coming up.
Now it looks like Otterbein's kind of picked it back up a little bit.
So when you are you cool enough to rock Blake Michael's shoes? Sort of got that orange and peach motif. Because I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Michael with one on the shot clock, hit the rim. Kind of forced to that point, and a foul on Mason Studer.
Thought he was going to get the bank shot on that.
First National Bank scoreboard says think first, but you don't really have a choice when you have 1 second left on the shot clock. Actually, I'm sorry. That's Studer's fourth. Polar Bears take a timeout. It is a full timeout brought to you by Precision Strip. ONU leads 67-45 here on NK Telco Sports. .51 to go in the second half as a look again inside Otterbein's bench. I don't think Andy Winters was talking about pizza like we were at the break.
No.
I don't believe. By the way, the all-time assist leader at Ohio Wesleyan University was just put into their Hall of Fame, and a well-deserved honor for that young man. And how much, I mean, you've seen, obviously, this team play over the years in Otterbein. Dallas Patrick lit up ONU for 25 last year in the second game. How much is missing a guy like that right now hurting them?
Yeah, he was good. He was player of the year his freshman year. He was good.
So a 22-point lead for ONU. 6:51 to go. Early on, ONU, Caden Jacoby and Carter Reese pretty much brutalized the scoreboard. It's the 1-1 up and good. Julian Heckman with his first point of the second half, now 17-20 from the line on the season. Julian out of Reynoldsburg High School puts both down. It's important to get him back into the ball game. He averages 10 a game. It's being held as 6 right now. ONU women have just put up together a big run of a 10 as Bryn Serban nails a triple. They now lead 61-46 in the fourth. That's a game that was a 2-point game with about 6 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So we'll see the ONU women on a Saturday afternoon.
It was at 40-38, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was close. And then apparently Bryn Serban does what Bryn Serban does. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
6-4-7 left on the board. It's 6-7 to 4-7. Which actually 6-7-4-7 was my uncle's number when I was a kid with a 5-second violation. We talked about Otterbein struggling to get the ball in. That just happened to Northern the other way.
Let's see what they do on the backside over here.
Heckman will be the inbounder as they'll look and to throw it into the corner. Otterbein with an attack to the basket. I give the tumble for Heckman about a 6.
Yeah.
Russian judge didn't like it. He gave it a 4. Will Miller up front with the basketball at 6:34.
A little curl cut by Jotty.
Great ball fake on 2 different occasions, but he had 3 on him. Speaking of 3, offline, the long arms of Hansen at 6'9", hit the cutter and reward the young man. And Reese, he's got 5 in the half, 16 all told. 69-47 now. So when you left somebody wide open, it's a great up and under. And the recognition again, it's the second time Krieger's done this. So where he's felt the defender, or in this case two, and Blake Michael go over top of him. Just kind of waited and put it up.
At the line for Otterbein, Jared Krieger, 2 shots.
Jared Krieger out of Big Walnut High School, puts down his third point of the half.
It's really good looking form.
He's 6 of 6 on the year from a line. I should hide if he doesn't make this. Second one's good.
He's got that guide hand maybe a little bit underneath the ball, but that follow-through hand's really good.
Not real popular in Westerville anyways. 69-49. Cunningham trapped in the backcourt for a split second. Uses Blake Michael to help him out at 5:55. Michael wanted to hand it to somebody. So unfortunately for him, nobody came with him. Northern off a couple of screens and
a lot of back cuts, a lot of curls.
That wasn't as much thrown away by Miller as it was knocked out of his hand. Cunningham on the run down to 2. Tried that same reverse layup. Ball is missed. Clement out front on the run. 3-on-1 results in a fast break left-handed layup for Krieger. He's got 6.5 now. And the last 4 for his team as they climb back into an 18-point deficit.
Just a little man-to-man run and jump here.
ONU women, I just said they were up 13. Now back to 7 as a dunk you very much. Hayden Hansen with a loud first 2 points.
They ran and jumped it right up at half court. They were able to kick it to the side and get it to Hansen.
Throw it down, big man. If you don't have room, you're Cam Evans. Just reach up and around the guy and throw it off the glass. That works too.
Here comes a little run and jump. Nope.
That's why he's such a good scorer. Carter in the quarter now at 4:35. Tried to hit Will Miller on the cut through. 5th turnover for ONU in the half. Substitution, Mack in and Caden Jacoby, the 6'8 freshman.
Yeah, just let him a little bit too much on that pass. It was a great cut.
Sean Marks, a 2-time All-Ohioan at Olentangy High School, is actually a transfer from Ohio Dominican as he comes into the ball game for the 2nd time.
I think he played for Olentangy Liberty, didn't he, Marks?
It says Olentangy.
Oh, yeah.
It says he's from Delaware and he went to Olentangy. I don't try to keep track of all that. Evans with a deep triple, way too long, and immediately talk about Sean Marks. He gets a rebound, looking for 3, hand in his face. Splash City, 9 of 17 on the year. And that ends a ridiculously long streak, by the way. We'll stay here during the precision strip timeout. But that 3 from Sean Marks at 4:10 represents the 2nd triple and just the 1st since Jack Clement hit early in the first half. It's really 2 of 14 now. Meanwhile, Ohio Northern's 9 of 20. It's a big point in that game, but turnovers have really gone up for Northern. They have 8 turnovers. There's now 10 points off turnovers for Otterbein. Yeah. But as it's been for most of the game, one of the big difference makers for me is Northern is pretty much 1-to-1. Anytime there's a turnover, they have a point. They have 20 points off 18 turnovers. Couple that with, their bench points. I mean, they're able to get out on the run, and fast break points at once upon a time were not close.
Right.
Now they're 15-14.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why Coach Young took that timeout. Don't want any kind of a momentum shift here at all. Will Otterbein have enough in the legs, though, to sustain this is going to be the key.
Is there a point, though? I mean, it's not insurmountable, obviously. 71-56, you have 4 minutes to go. Basketball's weird. Anything can happen. But is there a point where you sort of change your thinking, whether it's time or a point total on maybe how you're attacking or when you slow down your attack?
Well, they just got to make sure they have good floor spacing, and this it looks like it's a little bit more of a, that's a good deep ball.
Baseball pass, wide open. Well,
that was sending a bunch towards the ball and one away from the ball, who set the screen, and then he went long.
So Conley with the quarterback throw down the line.
And he
Miller
was
did
a
not have
quarterback.
football at Otterbein.
No, I don't think
Didn't need to.
Yeah.
Kid's a heck of an athlete. Studer
Gotta
trapped near the line at a timeout at 3:42 to go. Coach Winters is less than happy.
No.
He said, did you know a lot of the food places close in Ada around 9? He said, what do you mean? It's a 30-second timeout. Brought to you by Precision Strip. We'll stay here in Ada.
And when that run and jump occurs, you've got to be careful that you're not spinning into it, and that's what Mason did.
Oh, look at that. Look how fancy that is. We had picture-in-picture for a second. You got to look at both of them at the same time. It's a lot of teams coming in here looking for big wins. Next week, Baltimore Wallace will come to town. That is always a good one.
It is.
Doesn't matter, men or women.
No.
See, ONU women, by the way, with about 53 seconds to go, we're up 9. Trying to get that win to come back from Otterbein, which also, if you haven't been there, is another beautiful gym. But one thing that stood out to me a number of years ago when we did an OAC Game of the Week here on NK Telco is there are some really hidden gem, beautiful gyms in the OAC.
Oh, absolutely.
The travel's not great.
There's that run and jump. Good job with floor spacing there. You got to look for the diagonals, too. There it is.
Studer with a beautiful backdoor throw to Carter Reese. And again, he puts in one. 7.5 and a game-high tying 18 overall. On the wing, a little dribble start. Trying to get something going there. So pacing is picked up. Krager, backdoor drop. Up and good for Reese Huber. His 4th point of the ball game. Out of Heath High School. Nearly a steal. Miller immediately said, that's my bad.
Coach Young wanted him to meet that pass and meet that ball a little bit. And that's what he was saying, go get it.
Brendan Raines might be my favorite young man on this team. I talked to him before the game. I said he's got a version of the 94 feet where you interview walking from baseline to baseline. It's also, I love Middleburg Heights, where he's from, played at St. Ed High School. Said he's the best cornhole player on the team. He's got a championship to prove it. Said, all right.
Good job with Ohio Northern's floor spacing, moving the basketball, not getting caught in that run and jump trap.
Also, Miller's a heck of a dribbler. It's out to Reese for 3. Just through the back of the rim. Northern, hey, look what came to me. Studer back inside. Little dipsy-do reverse layup for Carter Reese. He's got a game-high 20. It's 77-58 at 2:25. Oh, hello. And 1. Jack Clement in a flash. Wow. End speed is ludicrous.
That's his 4th.
He's got a really good hesitation move.
Correction, that is his 5th personal foul.
Mason Studer is questioning, how did I get the foul?
They're going to switch this, I think. No?
I was going to say, I was confused because originally I thought the foul was on Will Miller because he turned and immediately threw his hand up. Oh, and I watched him body the kid to the floor.
And Mason was telling the official that, hey, I was in the corner.
Yeah, he was nowhere near that. Let's see, he'll rattle home for Clement. 4 for 4 in the game from the free throw line. I'm not really sure how that works, by the way. Into the lineup for the first time will be Anthony Kopic. He wants to be an athletic director after college.
Who's that?
Anthony Kopic, who just checked into the game. Number 15, running past. I have a lot of athletic directors right now who are just laughing and saying, no, you don't. Timeout brought to you by Precision Strip. Northern up 16 here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
77-61, the lead for Ohio Northern. It's a big win for Northern if they would be able to hold on a 16-point lead with 2:13 to go. It would be their first conference win. Also be their third straight win. And you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. And again, I'll go back to they played Mount Union really tough, and they played Marietta really tough.
The ONU women pick up a 67-54 win. That's obviously a huge thing for them as well on the road. Anytime you win in this league on the road, you feel pretty good about yourself. It's like I said, the gyms, not only are they beautiful that you have to go to, but they are nearly impossible to win at. Northern men.
Jump. Good job with floor spacing with Ohio Northern.
Back up top, Reese again. Just having himself a night. Carter Reese showing out. That is his 5th triple. He hit 20 coming in. I'm of the belief that's about a quarter of what he's had. Sean Marks with the basket on the other side. Cuts the lead to 80-63. But now about having practice for a couple of days before you play again on Saturday, about building from this. Anthony Kopic.
Every game has its own life, and every day does. So they're just gonna Otterbein in their case just regroup and get ready for the next game, and Northern don't look past it and get ready for your next game.
Miller at the free throw line. Didn't miss many in high school. The save, tried to throw it right back in, but it went back the other way. And the reverse layup up and good. This one will come off the hands of Reese Huber. And another timeout.
Rolling timeout.
So 1:29 to go. Well, no more timeouts for Otterbein. I heard it.
We're going to try to face guard Will here.
Also the odd thing, by the way, 15-point game with a minute 29, is I've gotten used to now calling the new high school rule. It's a mugging and a turnover into the quarter on the run. 3 ball away for Rains. Will not rain threes. Take down through. Northern did a good job to just let that go. Krager.
Good cut by Mason Tudor to the ball.
But I've not gotten used to getting back to 1-and-1s because high school has eliminated that.
Yeah.
Everything is a 2-shot foul. Now with a minute to go, great spacing by ONU. They don't have to obviously take a shot here as Miller back down into the corner with Blake Michael. Michael hit the cutter and Reese. Down at 47.4 on the 8th foul against Otterbein.
Is on number 12, Brennan Rains.
Brennan Rains, a 5'10 sophomore. Again, find that kid on Twitter if you get a chance because he has a lot of really good content with the 94 feet walk. Carson Conley. Licking Valley. He was a good player, had a good senior year. He also played football, went to the state championship game. One place where he struggled, though, this year is the line. 4 out of 10 coming into that throw. And that is his first point of this ball game. Langford returns for the Polar Bears. Woodall as well. Carson Conley, 1,000-point. Did it at Licking Valley, like he said, only the 7th player in school history to do it. Did it against the Highland Fighting Scots. His career high's 11. He's got to be thrilled. He's a big Michigan fan. So everybody's got something wrong with him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a Florida State fan, though. After last weekend, I can't say anything. three and an air ball. Raines will track it down, tried to save it. Nearly took out the cameraman. So that's not what you want. All the Browns fans have got to be happy. It's a handful of guys, including Mari Cooper and Miles Grant, just got named Pro Bowlers, because I guess that's still a thing. Even though they don't really play the game, flag football or cornhole or whatever it is now. Miller will dribble it out, and you're down by 14 with 27 seconds. And you know Northern has to take a shot here, but defensively you just kind of let this one go. Hope that when you play again in a couple of weeks that things work out better for you at home. Wanted to mention, too, that with these sets of switches that Northern made, they brought in a terrific point guard and a smart kid at the point guard slot in Brady Woodall. You can see him. He's got the hair in front of his face. Also, Bryce Stewart, the sophomore, played in his 10th game of the year, or 5th game of the year. And ONU is going to walk out 3-2 here at home with an 81-67 victory. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll send this one on its way. It didn't need overtime, but it's a final nonetheless. Bears by 14 here on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Hometown Opportunity serves Mercer County, Auglaize County, Darke County, and Shelby County.
The website as a whole is pretty user-friendly. I was able to filter down my options, see what types of jobs were out there for me in the area.
It really opened up my eyes to the employer market around here.
We know that our local candidates, a lot of times, are our most successful candidates because they want to come here and stay.
It's become the go-to site for anybody looking for a job in the region.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get NK Telco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NK-TELCO today.
Back here in an 81-67 win for Ohio Northern. A big thank you to the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, along with Precision Strip, Witters Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. We talked a lot about this game, but our Grand Lake Health Systems post-game stats, some things that I noticed. 2 for 16 for Otterbein from 3 as they dropped 8-4 overall, 2-3 in OAC play. They shot 26 of 54 overall, 13 of 16 from the free throw line. That's pretty good. 14 offensive rebounds to just 9 for Ohio Northern. That was something we talked about in our keys. Northern shot 10 of 22 from outside. Carter Reese goes 5 of 9. Just misses his career high, which look at the tear that he's been on. He scores just 2 in the last game that Northern played in 21 minutes. But before that, he had in reverse order 21, 25, 18, 25. And he's got all but 3 double-digit games. 23 points on 5 of 9 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line. a couple of rebounds, a couple of fouls, 3 assists, just 1 turnover to go with the steal, and he played 33 minutes in this game.
Yeah, I mean, and he had really some really good-looking shot selections tonight, and that's when you get a better shot selection onto your offense, and you get a better shot, it's going to lead to a higher percentage.
37 to 25 in rebounds, 18 to 10 in turnovers. Not the one you want. I mean, it's kind of amazing the fact that, again, Northern wins 81-67, that you're able to look at some of these things and kind of extrapolate them of, Johnny Cunningham has just 7 points. Caden Jacoby picks up the slack. He shoots 9 to 12 from the field. He's forced to take his first 3 with a shot clock at 2. He has 18 points, gets a block, gets a steal, a couple of rebounds. I mean, the only big thing for Northern is their leading rebounder in this game. Blake Michael has 4.
Yeah, well, he went after the boards strong in high school as well. It was one of the things that I really liked about him. He really offensive rebounded the ball as a guard.
Jack Clement had 19, Cam Evans 13, and big congratulations to him. He got his 1,000th point in the first half on a couple of free throws. Jared Krieger had 10. But the balanced scoring, I mean, Ohio Northern shot 61 times in this game, 33 to 61. They were nearly unmissable.
Yeah.
In the first half, especially.
Yeah, those were the 2, I think, keys. They shot it better than Otterbein did, obviously, especially from 3. And the turnovers.
Yeah. I mean,
points off turnovers.
ONU, 20 points off those turnovers. Again, the Bears will be back in action on a Saturday as they will head out on the road to take on Muskingum before coming back home next Wednesday night to take on Baldwin Wallace, and Capital will come here on the 13th. That's not always an easy one. Oh, by the way, Otterbein's got to go home and welcome Mount Union to town on Saturday. Also not easy before they get Marietta next week as well. Teams will meet again on the 24th, 3 weeks from today in Westerville. But a big thanks to all the folks who helped bring you this game. And you can check out the replays of this game as well throughout the course of the week on our Facebook and on YouTube and on NK Telco Sports as well. A big thank you to our camera guys and Kurt Kuffner, Jim Miller, Josh Miller, and Mark Fissel, and to our assistant director and Jeff Henshin, and the big guy in the truck in Austin Ambergy. That is, I think it's free pizza time for him.
Yeah.
He's working hard, if not. For Rich Bensman, I'm Mike Hearn. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow from all of us here in Ada at NK Telco Sports.